Okay, hello everyone, and shalom, brothers, sisters, and sojourners of Israel. This is Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is September 16th, 2020. All right, hope everyone is well, and your families are blessed, and you're all in great health and spirits. Okay, now this lesson on today, it's called the True History of Palestine. All right, now, given the age-old conflict, if you will, between the Israelis and the Palestinians of today, I have to preface this lesson by saying that I in no way endorse any particular group. I'm not addressing the conflict that's been going on for so many years over there with the present-day occupants of Israel, referring to themselves as Israelis, and the current occupants of Palestine, referring to themselves as Palestinians. Okay, the purpose of this lesson is to give you true history and true context on what that region is, how the history came about, how the name Palestine even came about. Okay, because when you understand that, when you, and that's why I say it's very important to always teach context, because context brings further understanding. Okay, a lot of people has been speaking on this conflict, for I don't know, years, and many people just do not really realize what's at stake or what's going on, or what Palestine is, who the Palestinians are, etc., etc. So hopefully with this lesson I'll shed some light on that. All right, now let's get right into it. Okay, all right, now the Palestine region, or parts of it, has been controlled by many different peoples. Okay, that includes the Philistines, the Moabites, the Egyptians, Assyrians, Paleo-Canaanites, the Amorites, the Ottoman Turks. The list goes on. Okay, now you may or may not know that land by another name. Okay, because back in ancient times, Palestine was known as Canaan, Zion, southern Syria, Israel, the Holy Land, and the southern Levant. Now let that marinate for a second. How did we get from those terms to Palestine, which is biblically inaccurate as well as geographically inaccurate? Okay, so let's dive into the history of it. The term Palestine. Where did that term come from? Where did it originate? All right, before 135 AD, the Romans used the terms Judea and Galilee to refer to the land of Israel. But when Titus destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, the Roman government struck a coin with the phrase Judea capta, meaning Judea has been captured. The term Palestine was never used in the early Roman designations. Okay? It was not until the Romans crushed the second Jewish revolt against Rome in 135 AD under Bar Kokhba that Emperor Hadrian applied the term Palestine to the land of Israel. Hadrian, like many dictators since and before him, realized the propaganda power of terms and symbols. He replaced the shrines of the Jewish temples and the sepulchre of Christ in Jerusalem with temples to pagan deities. He solely and exclusively changed the name of Jerusalem to Alia Capitolina and changed the name of Israel and Judea to Palestine. Okay, that's how we got here. Now, Hadrian's selection of Palestine was purposeful. It wasn't accidental. He took the name of the ancient enemies of Israel, the Philistines, Latinized it to Palestine, and applied it to the land of Israel. His hopes was that he would erase the name Israel from all memory. Thus, the term Palestine, as applied to the land of Israel, was invented by the inveterate enemy of the Bible and the Jewish people, Emperor Hadrian. All right. It's interesting to note that the original Philistines were not Middle Eastern at all. They were European. No surprise there. From the Adriatic Sea, next to Greece. It may have pleased Hadrian to utilize his Hellenistic term for the Jewish land. In any case, the original Palestinians had nothing to do whatsoever with any so-called Arabs. Now, the latter statement is not one of minimalization or disregard, but it's simply the truth. Okay? In 629 AD, Palestine was invaded by Arabs from the Hijaz. By 635 AD, Palestine, Jordan, and southern Syria, with the exception of Jerusalem and Caesarea, were in Muslim hands. Jerusalem capitulated in 637. And over the years, occupancy were by several different groups. And there was a Muslim reconquest of the land in 1187. Then the beginning of the Ottoman period in 1516. And here we are. The use of the term Palestine is biblically inaccurate, and you will not find that name anywhere near Torah, simply because that name was given to what it rightfully should be called, and it's Judea, the land of the Jews, or the original Hebrew Israelites, and it was changed by someone who had no authority to do so, simply hatred for the people of Israel. Okay? So I want you all to take what I'm saying. You can take it at face value, and that's great. I'm not going to ever tell you any lies. But understand this, and you can do further, in-depth research if you so desire, or you can use my highlights, the lessons I'm giving. And again, it's not to endorse or berate or disrespect anyone, not taking any sides. I'm just giving you the truth. Okay? The occupants of Palestine today, they're the descendants of invaders. Simply put. Okay? They weren't invited to that land. Okay? No one sent them invitations and said, "Hey, come move over here, live in the Holy Land of the Israelites." No. All right? But by the same token, the occupants that occupy Israel today, and I think it's pretty standard knowledge that they are Europeans. Okay, they did not originate in the land of Israel. Okay, once Israel was recognized as a state back in 1948, then all the European Jews who practiced Judaism started moving into the land and claiming it as their own. All right, and that's another topic in itself. But that's not their land either. Both groups of people, the Israelis and the Palestinians of today, the ironic part is they're both fighting over lands that doesn't belong to either one of them, which in itself is I don't know. I don't even know what word to call that. But again, I don't want to go on a tangent and veer off, but I wanted to give you context to Palestine to understand what that land is and what it isn't. That land it should be called Judea, and it's ancient Judea, and that land belongs to the original Hebrew Israelites that God promised that land to, being the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I'll leave you with this, with both groups, both occupants of that land and region today are not from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? So with that said, I've decided to start giving, just kind of shorter lessons. I think those days of me giving 2 and 3 hour lessons is over. To the best of my ability, I'm going to give you the highlights of what you need to know. And again, you could always do further research, to go dig a little deeper. But I want to give you some history and some context on what Palestine truly is and what it isn't, and why the name was changed from Palestine, from Judea to Palestine, and how significant that is today with respect to the occupants of that land and region. Okay? All right. So with that being said, that will conclude this lesson. I hope you all got something from it, and I'll continue to do what I promised since I've came back, and just bring you just knowledge and wisdom and lessons, and let you all be the judge. Okay? I'm not here to judge anyone or or anything along those lines. Just bring you the truth and let that stand. Okay? So you all take care. I'm gonna say shalom, ahaya b'Yashem, Yeshua HaMashiach.